We'll be starting soon. Don't want to leave? Want to live at Disney World? I'll make it a realty reality. Everything from Dr. Phillips to Davenport, Claremont to Kissimmee, Winter Garden or Windermere, and Disney's own Celebration and Golden Oak. I'm Realtor Victor Naraki, and this is Disney at your doorstep. Hey, how are you? Well, we've already got 12 people watching. That is so cool. That is so cool. So we're not live today at a community. We're doing something that I'm hoping I'll do more often. I was actually going to be doing this every week with the fireworks, but we haven't had fireworks. And so anyway, so I have decided just today to go out, just talk about what things are I encountered this week, some of the new videos that I put up, some of the areas that I've been to. So there's quite a few things that we can talk about. If you have any questions, just ask them. I'll see them on my screen, and I will definitely answer them. I sort of wish I had decided to do this earlier because I would have gotten more questions, but I've got some great questions already. For example, we're going to go over what are HOA fees and CDDs. What are these crazy lease options I see? Had a customer who asked me why I won't read them the contract and explain it to them. Which is totally understandable. It just, another customer said the prices are exploding. Where can I buy under $150K? It is possible. How much do I need down? And this one, of course, is, this happens a lot. And I said the same thing when I bought my first house here. Is how can I get more land? So anyway, so I am hoping that you can hear me. So please leave a comment, anything that you have a question for. Certainly any type of questions. So if you can hear me, say yes, I can, or say no, I can't. Usually by now people have said no, I can't. So I'm saying, yeah, it says it's going. Okay. So someone please say okay, do I think? Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all for, this is a good question. This is a great question I have here, and I'm very excited to answer it. Okay, so let me get a lot of stuff I got to close. Okay, so comments. Do you think Oasis pricing will be close to Sunbridge? Okay. It's a different builder. Okay. Isn't it? Wait, no, I'm sorry. No. So it is the same builder. Do I think it'd be close? I actually feel like it will be higher because this is much more premium property. They've got less lots. They have not released how many there are, but they're calling it a boutique community. So for those of you who aren't aware of it, I'm going to give you a little bit of info onto where this community is. So here is Oasis.
Where is the Oasis by Del Webb? Well, it's going to be right here. And if you're looking for an over 55 community just minutes from Disney World, well, let me tell you, you cannot be closer than where this community will be. And I want to prove it to you. Let's get in my car and show you how you would drive to Disney World. And now let's head out of your community.
So I'm gonna turn ahead a little bit
onto Flamingo Crossing. We go up to this corner right here.
So this is not just the closest over 55 to Disney. This is the closest ownership you can have to Disney World. When you see where I am right now,
to my left is where Flamingo Crossing.
That's a big shopping plaza
and restaurant plaza is being created. Be right outside your door.
And now we're not even a minute away.
And at half a mile, we're turning onto Western Way. We turn right.
Watch this. This drives me crazy. It's so funny.
And we go.
Now, right in front of me is the 429 freeway that cuts directly through Winter Garden.
For Disney World directly in front of me, and I have not gone 1 full mile yet.
That's how close it is. Imagine saying you want to retire near Disney World, and this is how close you are. And we're starting to sign
at Disney World.
Now, of course, that sign's been revised in the last 2 months.
To Disney World.
There we go.
So if you want to live close to Disney World in this community, visit my website, disneyatyourdoorstep.com.
Okay, so that's how close it is. But to answer the question of do I think the prices will be the same as Sunbridge, I suspect that although they have the same models, I suspect that based on the land, they're going to be higher priced units because they're considering it a boutique community with I think in the 200s of properties. Do I know when they'll be starting to build at Oasis? I know they'll be starting to sell in the fall. And I'm waiting for them to open up to realtors so that we can, give our names and things like that. So I definitely think it's going to be the fall. And I don't think anybody's going to be moving in based on my history with communities for a year from now. So, sorry, someone's trying to get on and okay. So, and yes, now someone else is asking, can I be a Florida resident with an investment property? So Sergio, I wanted, if you could clarify that question. He clarified it again with rental. So are you saying you want to own a house, are you asking strictly for like to get into Disney World as a Florida resident? So if you could clarify that, Sergio, I'd appreciate it. But I'll take it as that being your question. When I did not live here full time, but I owned a rental property, I went to Disney World with my ownership papers. At the time, you were able to get a driver's license if you owned a property here. Now, you can't do that right now. You can't get 2 licenses in 2 states. So, but I do believe if you show your receipts, your bills coming to that address, I do believe you can get, you can be considered a Florida resident when you go to Disney World. It was easier many years ago before I owned, and I had a Florida driver's license, and I was very excited by that. So, does anyone else have any questions before I start talking about other communities? Okay, so let's go on. If you ask a question during this, I'll try to get back to it. Okay, so what are HOA fees and CDDs? And what do HOA fees cover? Well, I just got a question today. Someone asked, in Horizon West, what are the HOA fees? Now, there are some homes that are owned individually that have no HOA fees, but that's very, very rare. I mean, honestly, it's very rare. But the predominant amount of HOA fees are, and I'm going to give you from about $58 a month to sometimes $225. The 58 has a small community center and doesn't have a lot of shared community activities. Okay, like dog parks, things like that. Okay. When you go up in price, obviously, you get more features. Like there's one community where they have, where they do your lawns. And that's terrific because you end up saving money. The bad part about that is when you go and get your loan, they're going to ask you what your HOA fees are. And they're going to say to you, well, they're going to, and I think that's kind of ridiculous because are they assuming that everybody's going to cut their own lawn? No, they're going to hire somebody probably. So what I'm saying is, so you're paying $150 or $225, and this will be affecting your loan, but you were going to pay someone to cut your lawn anyway. So they sort of look at it as, oh, that's a guaranteed expense. Well, everybody's got some guaranteed expenses. So that's the only drawback of getting the landscaping in your HOA fees. Now, another community that I really, really love is Watermark. And that's right that way. It's just a little bit south of me, or southeast. And Watermark, for example, started out with these very high HOA fees of $158 without landscaping. But they have a beautiful resort community center, gorgeous community center. It's absolutely stunning. And they actually have a viewing post where you can watch the fireworks, unfortunately not now, watch the fireworks out at Disney. It's actually, and it's designed, the way the whole community is designed is so that you look, there's no houses in front of that. You look down this beautiful greenway. I just sold a house on that greenway. Stunning and it's a resale. It's a really, really good price. So you look right down that greenway to see the Disney fireworks. What's interesting about that is at a certain point, the homeowners take control of the homeowners association when, near the time they stop selling in there. And then you have people who fortunately know budgets and all that. And what they do is they work on the budgets and they figure out what their expenses are, and suddenly they start going down. So sometimes I have seen that happen, and they went down by half. So they're in the 70s right now, $70 a month for a community center that is huge. Now, here's the thing. If you're a single person and you've got all these features and you don't have a dog and you don't go to the community pool and you don't go to the gym, well, then you're getting ripped off. But if you've got a large family, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, maybe grandma living with you, well, then you're getting your money's worth, especially if you use those features. So imagine 5, 6 people being able to use a gym. I think that's when you get the best deal. You get kind of ripped off when you buy a house and you don't use any of the features. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people. So, okay. So if anybody else has any questions, now what is a CDD fee? Here's the thing. In my community, for example, when this land was purchased, the builder paid the county to build the infrastructure. Okay, paid it outright. Some communities don't do that. Some communities create a bond so that it's paid in your taxes incrementally over 20 or 30 years. Bottom line is either way you're going to pay for it, either in the price of the home, okay, or in your taxes as an additional fee. I think it's better to be in the price of your home. I don't like these surprise fees. Sometimes they could be $60 a month extra, and it's added into your taxes. So that's what a CDD fee is. So you just got to be prepared for it, because sometimes it includes some incredible community features. Some of the over 55 communities do this, where they have, a great big community center and gates and all that. Every agent has a story of a customer saying, they want this feature, this feature, this feature, this feature, but they don't want to pay HOA fees. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. You have to pay HOA fees. Now, there are some very few communities or homes, maybe 1%, I'd say, that have no HOA fees, but they're few and far between. And I honestly have been selling for 10 years and never sold one of them. I've shown them, but nobody's ever bought them. And I saw one the other day that looked like it was going to fall into the lake. So they're much older. So anyway, what are lease options? Now, I thought this was very interesting. My customer said this to me the other day and said, they said this home, it's listed that it can lease for 8 months to a year. And I said, no, you cannot lease that house for 8. It's not listed as a rental. What they're telling you when that happens is, let me see if I can put this up here. There we go. So minimum lease period, 8 to 12 months. So what that means is if you own the property, if you own it, you can lease it for 8 to 12 months. It is not saying that that property is leasable for 8 to 12 months instead of buying it. Okay, so it does confuse a lot of people. By the way, this house is gorgeous. I was looking at it today for a customer, and I thought I'd mention the fact that, yeah, that is a real nice house. So, oh, let me see if I got a comment here. No, just saying hello. Ask me a question. Okay. Someone asked me a question. Okay. This came up recently where actually after I explained it to the customer, they went to my broker and said, Victor didn't read me the contract or explain it to me. Okay. This is after I explicitly told them that I cannot do that legally. Okay. I can discuss it with you. What do you think it means? You know, I've sort of become a psychiatrist. Okay, you tell me that you had this dream. What do you think it means? Because I'm not a lawyer, and I can't explain the offers to you. It's an offer until it's signed. When it's signed, it becomes a contract. I can ask you, you know, how many days do you want for an inspection period and what that means. I can ask you, you know, a myriad of different questions to determine your offer. I feel that the contracts right now are very understandable. You just have to take them slowly and read them. Now, I will send them to people and they'll sign them so quick that I'm like, you didn't read that. You know, now I do like those quick signatures because I can send out the offer right then, but I can't explain it to you, and I really wish people would read them. You can Google most of the stuff. You know, you can Google, you know, what does this mean? What does this mean? Our contracts are all exactly the same. There's only two types of contracts. The predominant one right now is an as-is contract. And my personal feeling is that an as-is contract protects you. Because you go to see that house, there's one across the street that's for sale. You go to see that house, let's say it's $500,000. You put in your offer, and they're not fixing anything. They may. I think they always should fix anything that is a safety issue. But it's as is. Now, if you don't like the way it is, you get your as out of there. Oh, I just made that up. So, you know, so that's what it really is, that you can go and buy it as is. You can always say, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. You can try to get them, and very often they do. I have one right now that will not fix anything. I don't understand that logic at all. I would tell my seller, fix it. Freaking fix it. Goodwill. Fix it. It's broken. Fix it. I don't understand the logic of not telling your customer that. If you don't think that offer was good enough to fix anything, you shouldn't have taken that offer. But I'm not the seller. I'm representing the buyer. So I can only refer that information. So I would say, now the other contract that is available to you is what we call a standard contract. And a standard contract comes with the caveat that if the repairs that are needed to make would cost 1.5% on average of the value of the property to repair, the contract will still go through, and the seller will repair it. Okay, you've just found out that there is mold in the bathroom. You want that repaired, or do you want to walk away? I want to walk away. Guess what? You can't. I hate that. I have never done one of those. When I have them come to me as representing the seller, I reject them. I go with as is. You don't want to be locked into something. Now, your inspection period, which right now I used to do 10 days, now I have to do 15 days. And I have to do 15 days because it takes so long to get an inspector out there, because this is a seller's market, and the seller's determining, you know, what the rules are. When I first started, it was a buyer's market. And as a buyer's market, the buyers got nasty. As a seller's market, the sellers got nasty. And it's a pretty sad reflection on human beings. Several years ago, we used to just say it was a market. It's fine. It's buyers, sellers. Things sell, but they may not sell fast. Or if they're really great, they'll sell fast. But now it's a seller's market, and they think they can take advantage of that. So let me see. Some questions came up. Do I assist in finding rentals for clients we may need to rent for the first move and while renting search for our home to buy? Well, I just had one the other day that I helped them find, and I helped them book a short-term rental for 2 weeks. Here's the thing. If I call an agent who has listed a rental property, okay, and I did this for a widow recently. If I call them and I say, hey, I've got a person, blah, 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 they want to rent the place, yay, they don't return my phone call because they don't want to pay me a commission. That's how bad it is. That's how bad. And I did this with her because I knew her. I said, you call, I call. They returned her call. They didn't return mine. But I'll help you. I won't take a commission for it. I will show you. I will talk to you about the areas and what's a good area. The leases are usually at minimum 1 year. Some will take 7 months, but you'll be paying a premium for it. So I would suggest if you're coming here and you're going to rent and you're ready to buy, you could rent here. It's very easy to rent for 2 months at a time. There's lots of short-term rentals. So I would consider doing that. So, rent for a short term and you've got no obligation. The only concern I would have about that, Joanne, is this. If you have kids that are going to school, because you won't be able to register them in schools with the short-term rental. As far as I'm aware, you cannot, because you need a lease. Okay, is there a good strategy to consider when seriously considering looking and making an offer? Well, that's a very good question. That is really good. The housing market is quite limited right now. There's very low inventory, but there's still properties being sold. Now, what I usually do is when someone tells me, what mechanics that they want, I want this type of house, I need this, and I know it's new construction. I will go to the people that I know, and I know them basically, the majority of them right now. So what I will do is go to them and say, we're looking for this, this, and this. If a deal falls through, which is happening a lot now, a lot of deals can fall through, unfortunately, because sale prices fall through, people lose their jobs. Unfortunately, it's the nature of life. People buy a house. My house wasn't ready. I ordered it in July. It wasn't ready till the February. In that time, I could have lost my job. My income could have reduced, things like that. So it's a long period of time, really, when you're waiting for a house. So this happened to me twice in the same community, where I told the agent, if something like this becomes available, give me a call. Well, I had one customer who was flying in. Let's just say they were getting here on a Tuesday. I was there on Monday. I saw the property. I went there on Tuesday. It was still available. I called them up. I said, Okay, we're not going out Wednesday. We're going out Tuesday. I'm going to show you this property. Boom. They bought it. So the thing is to when you're looking for a good strategy, to know what you want and be ready to buy. If you're not ready to buy, you're wasting a lot of your energy. And what's going to happen is you're going to go in there and say, hey, I'm ready to buy. No, you're not. Because down that road in the same office where in the hallway, there's another customer ready to buy too. And they've got their pre-approval. So they're writing a contract. You don't have that. So get yourself pre-approved, talk to a lender. I've got 3 that I recommend if you're ready to buy. If you're not ready to buy, you're not ready to make an offer. So you get that pre-approval, they're good for like 30 days. Okay, this is an interesting question. When buying a new, one of my customers. Okay, when buying a new construction, how does one know how much of the inventory is already purchased? Well, that's something that I would say is readily available. You just ask them. Honestly, they're going to tell you exactly how much is in the community that we're talking about. From what I recall, they're about half sold out, which is good. What I look for in a community is that you're not the first one to buy, because you want that community center to be built. I sold in a community once, and the first time I showed it was a year before my customers bought. And I'm like looking at the community center. Now, I'm familiar with 2008, and 2008 is like being a child of the Depression, because you have this history where 2008, I saw community centers where they started building the homes and they didn't finish the community center for 4 years later. So in many cases, these were short-term rental communities. And imagine having a house that you're renting out and the community center's not built. That's awful. I mean, because once they start them, they finish them. Another thing is I like it when they're big frickin' builders. They've got the funds to complete that community center and complete all the other things that they're building. So that's a great sign. If I was in a community where I didn't know the builder and I didn't know their name and I didn't know their history, I would be very leery, because down on Windsor West Side Highway, there's a townhome development that stopped building. They went bankrupt. The builder went bankrupt. There's another one, I won't name the name, on Route 27, where they went bankrupt and they stopped building. And then another builder came in, and then another builder came in. And now they're finally finishing it up and it looks like garbage. So I don't like that. I like the known builders. And the one we're talking about is a known builder they're building in several different communities around here, and people are very happy with them. So let's see what else is out there. I'm going to answer Chris's question, even though I know I answered it already, and he said I did. Does Florida allow for home inspections before you sign an as-is? Not before you sign. No. I mean, that would be crazy. I do think this is a great question, Chris, because I just had this come up. What I would suggest as a selling agent, and something for a seller to get the best price possible, is to have an inspection beforehand and fix every little thing that they see. Every single thing that shows up on that inspection report, fix it, have the guy come back, or lady, and give you a new inspection report and leave it on the counter to sell it. Okay, because the big thing is people who are, this is their first time buying a home. So I would say, they don't know. They don't know. I see inspection reports every day and I'm like, this is great. Boy, this is a terrific inspection report. That's fantastic. And my buyer sees it and goes, oh my God, no. It's like ridiculous. Seriously, every house has an issue. Fix them and you're golden. Clean it and you're golden. I mean, I can't imagine how many homes you don't know how many homes I go into and they're filthy. Nobody wants someone else's dirt. And they also don't want to see your dead animals that you shot hanging on the wall. So take them down. Anyways, just me venting. That's just me venting. Here's an interesting one that came up today recently was the prices are exploding. Where can I buy under 150? You can buy under 150. Not necessarily around here. There are some over 55s in Davenport where you can get a small home. You might be able to get a mobile home, a modular home, a pre-built home. If you look in Winter Haven, I think you'll find it. If you're into fixing up an older home, I think that would be a great thing. And you probably get some more land too. So and Lakeland, going out a little further, definitely 150 can get you something. When I started here, I don't like, maybe I shouldn't say this, but 12 years ago, I bought a 4-bedroom home with a pool that was only 4 years old, 132. I was very lucky. I took a risk. I didn't have an inspection. So it was a risk. It was definitely a risk. And I took it. And it allowed me to buy another home, even better. And that purchase allowed me to buy another home even better than that. So it was a risk. I would never advise someone to not get an inspection unless they were a professional in the business. So it's just something that, Well, Tom, this is a very good question. When do I see the market changing? At least that it will kind of normalize as far as inventory. Here's the thing. If I had a crystal ball, I wouldn't trust it either, because nobody can do that. I do say that people get good deals when they're ready. Do I foresee a drop in the marketplace? What led to 2008 was that people were not putting any money down. So they were walking away from homes that they didn't have an emotional investment in. It was just a financial investment. And they didn't have money in that. They didn't have a financial investment in, they only had, I got it backwards. They only had an emotional investment, not a financial. So what happened is they walk away from it and they ruin their credit for 7 years. And if you're struggling, yeah, you would do that. But places like Windermere and Winter Garden and Dr. Phillips, I didn't see a lot of foreclosed properties in there unless they were really poorly kept up. And they weren't bargains either. And this is in 2009, 10, And so I would say that was one of the things that I did see a lot in Davenport, and that's what actually got me into the business, because Davenport had a lot of short-term rentals. So people were buying these with no money down and thinking they're going to pay off their mortgage. And the economy got hit and they were maybe paying in more than they were getting in. So they walked away from a lot of these homes. When I first came here, I was not a realtor. And the realtor that I had, and I tell this story a lot. She took me out. She took me to 2 new construction homes. And I said, and they were higher priced, so she gets a better commission. And I said to her, well, aren't there any foreclosed properties here? Because I really want to, buy something that's a real good price. And she laughed at me and said, oh, Victor, this is Davenport. I'll never forget that. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I'm not going to buy because I can't afford these. This was totally outside of my price range. Well, once I got my license, I realized that 40% of the sales in Davenport that year were foreclosures. And someone may say to me, you're taking advantage of a situation by buying a foreclosed property and taking advantage of someone else's loss. Let me tell you, if an individual doesn't buy that home, a hedge fund will. They are the ones taking advantage. I'm stimulating the economy. They're taking advantage, and they're just making a financial gain over a certain period of time. They don't care. They buy it, they rent it out, then they sell it. And it was difficult for me as an agent when I got my license just a year later for me to get some of these homes because people were buying them sight unseen. And I would explain it to someone, they're buying these homes sight unseen. They're not paying, they don't care. They just know that the value is there. So they would just come in, swoop them up, and buy them. So anyway, so when do I see the market changing? I really don't. I don't see it. I don't see it happening really soon. I think there's still some decent prices out there. The best gated community near Disney under $350, and you want a private pool. I get this a lot. It depends if you have children. Okay. And the reason I say that is because some of the communities that are more affordable aren't in communities where people would say there's good schools. Boy, this light is really bothering me. Anyway, so I like Providence. I've sold in there. I sold, I think maybe you'd be in there for $330. There's an interesting community called Stony Brook in Winter Garden. Oh, okay. Clarification. Beautiful. There are a lot of communities that have pools. I'm going to tell you, if you want to use something that's a vacation home, okay, go to something that rents short term. There will be higher HOA fees because they're going to have facilities. But I would like Paradise Palms. I've been looking at a lot. Okay, those houses that are not selling that are selling in the 300s there actually sold for more. And down the street, other builders are selling for a lot more brand new, $100,000 more. And these are only like 3, 4, 5 years old. Paradise Palms has $450 HOA fee plus a small CDD. It is gated entry. It is, they have pools already. They have pools absolutely already. What I like about it is it's minutes to Disney. I mean, you'll be in Disney in 10 minutes. You'll be to Disney in 10 minutes. Absolutely. So that is a really good option right there. Right down the street, they're $100,000, $150,000 more. What happened with that community is, and then there's another one I like called Windsor Hills. That's 10 minutes to Disney. But those houses are significantly older. They all have pools. All short-term rental communities build with a pool. Even some of the townhomes, which I'm selling one right now, which is gated. They're in the 370s. These are townhomes that are 5 bedrooms. Here's what you want to look for if you're going to rent out your vacation home. Look for 1 bedroom downstairs. Okay. Look for 10 minutes to Disney. Look for shopping right nearby, specifically a Walmart. They tend to really love Walmarts. Those are the 3 top features. I have a list. If you ask me for it, I can put it up here one day. So yeah, you want that if you have a, in fact, I'm going to play right now. This is the video of a short-term rental community. Now, you don't have to rent it out. You can just use it as a vacation home. This is a video of a short-term rental community that they are building. No more than 15 minutes to Disney. And when the road gets in, it'll be even shorter. So look at these facilities here. Their HOA fees are in the 400s. And this will be totally available this summer. So all these facilities, you've got volleyball, you've got this great, look at this. Now this community, what I love about this community is it overlooks the fireworks. Many of them, I will say they have fireworks views. This one I know does. So that's that community that I would really suggest for you, Mel, if you're interested. That is a really great community. Now, for under $350, I would go with Paradise Palms. I would go with Windsor Hills. What you want to remember when buying a vacation home, if you're going to rent it out, I don't know if you're renting it out. The price point of that one is Windsor Island, and the price points start for townhomes in the 370s. That's for townhomes. Townhomes are just as desirable as regular single families. But to stay under 350, I would go with Paradise Palms. I would go with Windsor Island. What you wanted, and the gated feature is very important. People like the gated communities. You're going to be minutes from Disney World. Renting, yes, you're going to be short-term renting it. Those are the top 10. I have a list of top 10 features that people are looking for, and you want to be able to say, yes, 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 we have all those features, because that's the way you keep your bookings. And you want to include all those features in your description. You want to say, when you, on your listing, you will be greeted at the gate by an attendant who will welcome you to this community. Rather than, this is a guard-gated community, you're going to need that. No, you'll be greeted at the gate by an attendant who will introduce you to the community. That's what they want. You are minutes from Disney World. See our video here. Just like the video I created to the Oasis, you do that. Absolutely do that. Because that'll make them feel comfortable. Okay, here we are. You know, you want to say we're minutes to a good, to Walmart. You want if it's 2 stories, you want a first floor bedroom that does not need to be the master. Now, recently I saw a home that had 2 masters, one up, one down. That was in Paradise Palms, who I strongly recommend because the prices are very good there. What happened in that community is I think that a lot of people from Brazil bought it, and then their dollar sank and they just wanted to sell out. So they started cheapening the price. And that strongly affected the market there. In fact, one of the selling agents there, when I said, how do I sell these? This is great. He said, learn Portuguese. And I was like, oh God, no, I'm not going to be able to learn a language. Are the promo videos always accurate to the actual community built? Yes. Yes, they truly are. They truly are. Kevin is asking, where can you moving to that you can deliver a pod to the driveway? You know what? Everybody asks me that. And I got to tell you, they don't restrict you on the pods. You just call ahead, call the HOA ahead and ask. But honestly, they're not going to restrict people from moving. Just get it out quick, and let it sit there like some people do. Is Champions Gate a planning disaster? Is it traffic hell? Yes, it is. It is. But you got to know the way to drive. When you go out of the community, don't go out from the back end and hop on to try to get on the 4. That's where it's a disaster. If you get on the 27 and drive north, it's not. It's fine. Because the 27, yeah, it has traffic, but it moves. So you just drive up to 27, and you're maybe an extra 5 or 7 to 10 minutes further than the community I just showed you. That community's 15 minutes no matter which way you go. And it's going to be shorter when that road gets through. I like the roads to get through, but they're working on it. So that's a good thing to go on. So let's see. So Mel, again, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about where you can get something for $350. That's a very good affordable price, but you want to get something that's got name recognition, gated, and close to everything, and plus a lot of the other features that people want. And you want to have a pool that you could stretch out by, So in Paradise Palms, there's a couple of 5 bedrooms that have a great area to stretch out on. With the 6 bedrooms, they don't provide enough space, I believe, to really stretch out. I also don't think, a lot of people, they want a private pool, but they don't need to have a conservation view. So I always say, I'd rather I'd rather have an extra room than a conservation view. But I also need that open floor plan. And when you buy a resale home, you can often get them furnished. So you're buying, does Windsor Island have a full-size pool in the townhomes? How much do private homes start at? Windsor Island is going to start at the 440s. Yes, I was just there. 440s for a single family home with a pool. The townhomes start in the 370s, and their pool is very different from the pools you will find at other townhomes. Other townhomes have a splash pool where you just sit there and you go, splash around, yay, and they're fine. They're fine. I wouldn't insult them, but they're not pools that you can actually swim in. Windsor Island is doing something really they're learning from their past experiences, and their past experiences have not allowed for enough parking, not allowed for a big enough pool. So they've learned from their errors in development before. So in other developments like Windsor Islands townhomes, I'm sorry, Windsor Hills, the older community, sorry, their townhomes, it's built by the same builder. Their townhomes really didn't have enough parking. So they'd have like 5 spaces off in a row on a side and then 1 space in front of the unit. But if you've got 5 bedrooms, very often you can have up to 3 cars rented for the unit. So that's why I don't like their townhomes as much as I like Windsor Hills. Windsor Hills is single family homes, because you could park on the street. There's 2 parking spaces in front of the garage. I like that. So I like it. I like to see enough parking nearby so that people have a little flexibility, so that they don't, they can park and they can walk to the house, or they can actually park in front of the house. A lot of these homes, one of the big surprises that I got when I was buying one for myself was that these homes would have a 1-car garage or a 2-car garage, but they would use it as a game room. I actually think it's much better to have that little extra space and say, we have a game room in the house, not the garage. Do that same attitude that my realtor did when she said, oh no, this is Davenport. No, say it, educate them, because they don't realize that the game rooms are in the garage. And if you have a game room in the garage, you either have to require that you have a ceiling fan in there. You have to insulate the garage. So why do that? Say in Paradise Palms, they all have loft spaces that you can create and put a game in there. Maybe one of those shuffleboard things. One of my customers is doing this great thing where they're putting a Pac-Man, I think, up there. That's great. That's great. They do want a game room. What about storage? Does anyone use the garage for parking? Yes, they do, but I wouldn't do it off a clicker, because they'll take the clicker with them. I would do it, I would let them, they can park in the garage. I actually don't really advise it. I would like it to be available, because if there's a windstorm, a hurricane or something like that, they'd like to just tuck their car away. They think, people think these tropical storms are going to destroy their car, but they don't. What about storage? Okay, if you're talking about a short-term rental, which we were, they all come with what's called a owner's closet. And usually, sometimes there's 2. I was showing a property, one of the townhomes, for example, in Windsor Island. They have one that's outside, and I would put all your pool stuff in there. I would put all your stuff to use for the beach in there. And then they also had one that was inside where you could put a lock on it. And I always put a sticker that says owner's closet remains locked, because people see a door, they're going to try it. They're just going to keep trying it. So educate them, let them know that that is your personal closet and it remains locked, and they can sit there and go, I wonder what's inside, but because they do. I always sticker up everything in the houses, like, for example, light switches. And I just put a little article on about for short-term rental where I said, label them, label the light switches, because like here I have, a ceiling fan. Can you see it? Yeah, a ceiling fan. If this was a short-term rental, I would not allow them to use the pull cords on the ceiling floor fans. I would say I always put a little sticker on the light switch right there. In fact, I have my even light, and I'd say, this one is for the ceiling fan, this one is for the light, this one is for the lamps. And because you don't want people climbing on the bed and pulling at the light cords. In fact, there was an episode of Judge Judy where an 80-year-old woman climbed up on the bed, was pulling on the light cords, fell down, crashed into a mirror, ended up in the emergency room. Now, Judge Judy sided with the owners, and said, hey, you knew what you were doing when you got up on that bed. You're 80 years old. You could have called someone younger to do it. But who wants? Honestly, that could have all been prevented by them simply labeling it and saying, control, fan, and light here. I wouldn't take the chains off, but I would just label it so that they don't go and climb up on the bed and try to pull on it. That's stupid. You can have a kid. If the kid's too short, he's going to be jumping. Come on. I see it all the time, and I'm like, and people are going like, oh, I'm fickling the switch. I can't do it. It's not because it's pulled off. It's turned off at the light. That's stupid. So cut them short. Switch is there. They don't need to climb up on any beds. Honestly, it's a big, big freaking mistake to do something like that, to have people climbing on beds. You just got to idiot proof it, because they don't want to think when they're traveling. They want, it all spelled out for them very easily. And if you do that, if you prevent the issue from happening, it's a great thing. Like, for example, on the door, if you have a door that's operated off a specific code, you want to tell them, put in the code, press this, and the door will open. Because if you're coming in late at night, which a lot of these people are, you don't want to be hassled at the front door. You want it to be easy. So does anybody else have any more questions? Because I'm going to move on to some of the things that I was going to go over. And I really appreciate all these great questions. It really, we'll be moving ahead. And let's see. How much do I need down? Well, it depends on how you're buying it, really. If you're buying it with a loan, a conventional loan, generally it's 20%. If it's an investment property, they usually ask for more down. If you're buying it as a primary residence, you may be able to get an FHA loan where they only ask for 3.5 down, but they're going to ask you for PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. I haven't had a customer do that in a while, but this is something that you need to ask your lender beforehand, because you may not be able to get an FHA loan, or you may not be able to get something where you're only putting 10% down. So it's very important to ask a lender first, because you may not be able to buy a home right now, and you're just wasting your time by looking. So a lot of lenders used to use the old wives' tale that, oh, don't shop around, because it's going to hurt your mortgage. It's going to hurt your credit rating. Sorry. And that's an old wives' tale. Now, you don't want to do it 50 times, and it's 50 times in a week that someone's going to think Experian's going to think you're crazy. If you've gotten, if you've got good credit, you can go and ask a couple of lenders, how much do I need down? And they will tell you, and they will also give you an estimate an educated guess of what your closing costs will be. Because it's not just how much do I need down and I've got that 20%. You also have a lot of closing costs that go with it. That could be up to 6% of the cost of the home, because you've got the average closing costs, you've got HOA fees that they're going to request up front, and you've got prepays, which are, your taxes, your taxes that are going to be, and your insurance, because the lenders will ask for a year of that up front. Now, I put a year of that on mine. Paid a year up front, and then when a year had passed, they mailed me a check for a lot. It was a beautiful check. And it wasn't a surprise. I knew it was coming because I know how this works, but it was a nice check, and it paid off, a lot of things that I had, accrued recently. So that was really good. Kim is asking, can I plant fruit trees if there are none? And what are the common restrictions when buying in Florida? Well, if you have an HOA, a homeowners association, they usually will restrict you from doing things in front of your home. But your backyard is yours, so now I want to put a little gazebo in the back of my house eventually. I'm going to ask for permission for that. I want to make sure that's okay, but I don't think they're going to restrict me. The front yard, you would just ask, can I put a fruit tree in front of my house? In the backyard, go ahead. Honestly, you're not, that's your private backyard. I've never heard of it depends, now my backyard is viewable by other people. So that's why I'm asking for permission to do that. I'm going to put some fruit trees in the back of my yard. I'm not going to ask for permission for that. I think that is insane. That is your private backyard. So, in the front of the house, yeah, you want to change something, all you have to do is ask. I asked for permission to change lights in front of my house because they come, it's builder grade. When you build a house, they give you builder grade lamps. They give you, builder grade numbers on the house. Oh, I hate that. I really don't like that. They give you these plastic, cheap numbers. I mean, it's like, but that is, so that's easy to replace, and you just get permission, and they let me do it. They approved everything, so what are the new communities or developments that are being built without an HOA? I haven't seen any. And if you're looking for a short-term rental, it better be in an HOA, because they're not, they're all going to be within an a homeowners association. And you want to be in a homeowners association if you're dealing with a short-term rental, because that is where the word of mouth comes in. If somebody is coming and they're coming to stay near Disney World, they're going to say, hey, I stayed in Windsor Island at this beautiful, there was a beautiful community, and here's the rental that I stayed in. Well, you find out that rental is booked for your time and stay. And then they'll go, well, let me look and see if there's anything else in that community. And so you get an email that says, hey, I stayed in this community. The house I stayed in was booked, but yours is much nicer. So let's book it. So that's where you get that strong word of mouth. But I have not seen personally any homes that really aren't in a short-term rental community, that are rentals. I'm sure if you look, you could find some. But you also have to remember that not only does the town have to allow it, the community has to allow it as well. So like Davenport and Kissimmee and Claremont allow for short-term rental. Winter Garden does not allow for short-term rental. So, it's just something you have to look out for, that if they allow it, that are any developments without an HOA. And I honestly haven't seen it. Does anyone use their garages for park? I'm going to take that question as yes. You know what? Honestly, if you're buying a new construction home or a home, I don't understand why people don't park their cars in Florida, why they don't park them in the garage. We have rains and all that stuff. And a lot of times I see parked cars just sitting outside. I'm like, no, use your garage. A lot of times they don't use the garage because they're using their garage for storage, for residential homes. Personally, I'd rather get rid of my junk. So anyway, so let's go back to banners. And here's my last question that I got before the and I'm going to show some little videos too. I have some little videos that we didn't get to. I have a couple more. Can I get land? The lots are so small. Yes, you can get land. The problem is you're going to have to pay for it, and it's going to be an older home. In anything that's around Disney World, it's going to be an older home. You can get houses that are, there's some homes, Winter Garden. Yeah, they've got acres of land, but they're much older. So it's just a matter of finding, what you need, with it. Let me make it more clear. Yes, there are older homes that have more land, but for builders to be building in communities, they generally do not have a lot of land. In fact, they're trying to make the most of every inch that they have, literally, because you will see that houses are 5 foot on one side, 5 foot on the other, for a joint of 10 feet, and that's it. You got 10 feet in between each house, and that's it. So I say to those people who want more land or something, maybe you should buy a corner lot or a pie-shaped lot. Those will have more land if you're buying new construction. If you want to buy something that that has more land, I would go with an older home, and that's generally the case, that it's a little bit older. So does anybody else have any questions for me? I want to show a couple of videos that I posted recently. Oh, here we got a question, maybe. Is that a question? Lamar is asking, have the prices gone down recently? No, they haven't. They honestly have not gone down at all. And they've gone up by 10% on average each year. I think 2017, it was 11%. 2018, it was 7%. So I like to say on average 10%. And they go up incrementally, honestly, with the new constructions each month. I think if someone's looking for a price that's good, go with something that's a little bit older, because especially in a community that has new construction, because everybody wants new, they're looking at those houses. And so I saw a house that if it was brand new, I'll give you this point. If it was brand new, it would have been $520, I told my customer. But it was a resale and it was $450. It did sell within days. But it's still got a relatively new air conditioner, a relatively new roof. You go and you get a owner's policy, so I say that is a really pretty good opportunity. You know, because they're competing with the new construction. So when houses are still in an area that where there's still some new construction and people want to be in, for example, Lee, which is a great community. I love it. I sold 3 houses in there. Well, if someone's reselling a house in there, they're competing with that. So they're going, well, you know, they're seeing it sit on the marketplace because they're trying to get the new price. No, you're not going to get the new price, but you make it a little bit more than what you paid for it. So I do see some opportunities there for resales, and they're not that old. The models at Sunbridge, the Sunbridge models. Now, Sunbridge, I do have a house that's closing in there. Beautiful. God, whew, the lakefront the pond front view there is amazeballs. It's amazing. And it's so into nature. And, you know, I was there and I was like, and there was this big freaking turtle. I swear to God, it was this big. It must have been 50 years old. And it was crossing the road. And I got out and, you know, I used to have a whole system in my car where I tap on their shell and then they'd go into their shell and then I throw it, you know, throw a tablecloth over it and pick it up. Then I'd sanitize my hand and, you know, bring it over to the side of the road. It was the most beautiful. It is really, that is a real nice area. It's really nice. You're really in nature. So those are the Sunbridge. In fact, let me show you. I have a video here that I'm going to add to the stream. Let's see how this works. Rocky, and I specialize in homes near Disney World. Now, this model is available. Presentation is about an over 55 community which hasn't opened while I'm making this video. It's not available yet, but get ready for it. It's coming. And we're going to look at the Oasis, which is going to be about 2 miles to Disney World. It's so close, I made a video about it. And in this video presentation, we're looking at a unique model called the Mystique. It can have 2 to 4 bedrooms, I'm going to be 2 baths, shortly, a 2-car garage, and it's almost 1,900 square feet. So let's look at the Mystique model that I did a video of in another presentation. And stay tuned to learn more information about the Mystique model on my channel. And watch this video right after this spiffy opening. Love my opening. It's spiffy. So this is a great model, and this model is available at other communities as well, not just over 55. It's actually at another community called Serenoa Lakes. Beautiful, beautiful community that is going to be about 12 minutes to Disney World.
This can be converted.
And they're just starting right now. They're going to probably be breaking ground in a few months.
Over at
I'm hoping to take a couple of customers there soon.
bathroom.
And it's all 1 story, and I believe you can get it with a 2nd story too.
Bed, lots of space in there. Then this is the room.
If you have any questions, just ask.
Garage.
Because I'm going to be signing off shortly. I know I'm going to be. Someone asks also a question about
bedroom
delivering pods. Most communities do not restrict you from moving into the community. It's just a matter of asking beforehand.
There's the gathering area.
Always remember, there's an interesting thing that comes up.
This model up with a gourmet kitchen.
You know, you will see pricing of homes when you go on their website. And they say the price is $350.
Covered lanai, which
well, that does not include the lot that you're putting it on, and in the options that you choose. Because right here we're seeing, flooring. We're seeing a expanded
We have a nice step-in shower.
step-in shower. Well, that is an extra price
Little
point.
drying area right here. And a walk-in closet.
So Lamar is asking what the average price of homes is. It depends on what community you're looking at. If you're looking in Dr. Phillips, the average price is $500,000 minimum. Really, honestly, new construction there is in the 700 or 800s. If you're looking in Winter Garden, the average price is in the 450s or so. But you know, it goes up to $1 million, goes down.
Wait, before we continue, I want to introduce you to the 14,000 square foot clubhouse and amenities center with a full-time lifestyle director.
Starting in
There's
the
court games, including pickleball.
So it depends on where you're
zero
looking.
entry pool
And there's some
spa,
really
fitness
great
center.
communities
If that's
in
not enough,
Davenport.
you can enjoy the indoor-outdoor bar and tavern overlooking
If you're looking
the
in an
nearby
over
theme
55
park
community,
and
I
fireworks.
can get you something
Now,
a resale
the
for in the
walkthrough.
200s, maybe. I could get you a new construction starting in the 270s.
Of course, this is a model, so they
in
always
certain
show them with the
communities, and
pool.
it's really great
We have
over
a beautiful
55
covered
communities
one eye.
with Disney.
Lots of area out here.
Now, these homes here that I'm showing you from Sunbridge, they're going to be in the 300s to start.
Thank
And
you
they
for
don't
watching
come
this
with
initial
pools.
presentation of the Oasis, the upcoming Disney World area over 55 community, which is not just the closest over 55 community to Disney World, but the closest community to Disney World. It's 2 minutes away. Currently, we don't have prices available, but you can reach out to me at disney@yourdoorstep.com to find all my links. And you can visit celebratingflorida.com to search properties. Okay, celebratingflorida.com to search properties directly. Well, thank you all for watching, DVC fam. Gee, I forget who that was. I know it's one of my customers. But anyway, I like it when they don't use their names. It's helpful, you know, because you know, why should you spout your name all over the place? Anyway, so thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you have any questions or anything, you can ask now. I'm still available. Otherwise, I'm going to go and put the closing video on. You know, there's a lot of inventory that comes available. When I know what you're looking for, it's very, very helpful to tell me what you're looking for, because honestly, things will, Joanne, please reach out to me. I would love to tell you more info on short-term rentals. I have some hints about what people are looking for, because I did it for 5 years myself. And I was very, very hands-on. And then we, you know, so I know exactly what people are looking for, honestly. You know, and you want to get all those features, because if you don't have them, you're going to be saying no, 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 and you want to say yes, yes, yes. That's why we bought it. That's one of the features that we need. You want to be, you know, educating them about what is important in a short-term rental, you know, and what things they're going to, you know, be looking, you know, you want to be saying all the key features when you're in your first description. So anyway, so that's one of the things I always say is very important. Let's see, what else do we have here? So I'm going to be going over to here. So if you have any other questions for me, I'll be glad to answer them as I close up. I've gone an hour and a half. I thought I was going to go a half hour. But, you know, giving me a platform like this, it's very dangerous. I'll just talk and talk and talk. But I'll tell you, I do know the area. I know what people are looking for. I want you to be prepared when you go and look for a home. And I've also on my Facebook page put, you know, what I need from you.
I need you to be pre-approved. I need you to know your budget. I need you to, if you're buying new construction, get pre-approved with one of the top places that I'm going to bring you to. So if I say to you, we're going to this community, it's built by this builder, let's go and get you pre-approved. They are more flexible with you to say, yeah, I'll get you pre-approved, because they want you to be approved before you go in there. That would be terrific. So if it's Pulte Homes that we're going to go, and I say that's the top builder, get pre-approved with them, as opposed to getting approved with an outside lender. If you're looking for new construction, let's figure out where your most popular builder is, which meets most of your needs, and let's go talk to them first. Let's go. That's probably the best thing you can do, is go and find that new construction lender. And honestly, unlike a personal lender, they're not going to be as upset with you if, whether or not personal lenders aren't going to be upset with you. They understand it happens. But, when I had a time where I was, sending people to lenders, and then they would buy new construction and they'd have to go with the new construction's approved lender because they get so many benefits from it. So, if you're coming out here, that's where I would do. I would go and get pre-approved by their lender, because then you can make an offer like that. And other people who aren't pre-approved yet are going and frantically calling up and getting their credit approved and all that. And you've already done it. So I think that's a great thing that came out of today. If you have the possibility of buying new construction, go to their lender first to get pre-approved, to at least one of them, because that will give you an idea of what you'll need. And of course, some builders want you to have your house under contract first. And some builders will say, the house that you're selling. And some builders will say you don't have to have it under contract first, but you have to get it under contract soon. So those things are some things that you have to consider as well, too. So, DVC fam who's asking who my 3 lenders are. If you go to my website and click on Get Pre-Approved, or I think it's or Get Lenders, or forget what it is, but you'll Ready to Buy or something like that. Anyway, it's right up there. There's 2 there. I'm going to add a third now, a third lender. So contact me and I'll give you the third lender. So I'm adding a third lender that I'm working with right now, who's been very helpful. So that's where they are. They're on my Facebook, on my website. Sorry. So any other questions before we hang up? We're at an hour and a half. I'm going to go get lunch. Anything else? Anything you want to know? Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for watching. Denise, thank you for watching. Thanks, Joanne. Thank you, Anthony, my regular. I love my regulars. Love my irregulars too. Anyway, Mel, please give me a call. I'll reach out to you. I'll try to reach out to you through Facebook. I love Jeff's question about his Champions Gate of planning disaster and traffic hell. Yeah, and they have no plans on fixing it yet. I rented there for 7 months before my house was ready, and I rented there, and me and my mother sat in traffic for 15 minutes just to get on the 4. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. So you have to go, sure, you can get around it. But yeah, the people don't know. They don't know how to get around it. So, oh, wait, I think I missed one. I'm sorry. Sometimes I see offer credits for first-time buyers. In your experience, are these type of credits true? or do they home buyers, or do they include those who aren't owned a home for X amount of years? Here's what I would say. Yeah, those deals are true for first time home buyers, but always speak to a lender. Don't take any realtor's advice on lenders or the options available. A true lender knows what is available to you. But don't forget that if you pay a low fee, you may have to pay PMI too, which is private mortgage insurance, and so that may increase what you're paying, like by I've seen $130 a month sometimes. So it's an added premium that you're paying for the benefit of putting less down. It's always best to see if you could put 20% down. So WD Travels is saying, thanks, Victor. That's nice. Yes. I'm sorry I missed your question, Andrea, a minute ago. I'm really sorry about that. So did get a couple of text messages. Okay. So, yeah. And let me see. My wife and I are retiring. Anyways, lots of stuff going on. Getting text messages too. With the housing stock is limited right now, is there an optimum? Customers asking me, is there an optimum time to consider buying within the next 3 to 12 months? Well, you know what? This is a good question, and I'll leave this as well, I got one coming up. Is there an optimum time to buy? And you know what? I heard a lot of people who in 2007 purchased, and realtors said to them, oh, you have to buy now because the prices are going up and this house is going to be valued at $400,000 next year. And it wasn't, because 2008 brought a big crash, and it wasn't valued at 400,000 last year. It wasn't valued at even 200 with the crash. So is there an optimum time to buy? The optimum time to buy is when you're ready to buy. Don't let anybody predict the future for you. You cannot. I can tell you that the things that created the 2008 crash aren't around right now, like putting no money down, and so I would say, as I said, the best time to buy is when you're ready to buy. What's interesting about buying new construction, which is really a nice thing, is that if you order a home, you're buying it at the current price. And I've seen this. So someone buys a house in January of 2019, right? So they buy the house in January of 2019, they order it. They're ordering it at that price level. If the prices go up incrementally, their price on what they're paying for that house hasn't gone up. So what I often see is so someone backs out of that house, and the price is that they're paying, if for that same house in 2020, is higher than the person that ordered it. So the price went up. So if you buy a new construction house and you order it, and the prices have gone up, you end up getting a pretty fair price. That's what happened with me, because the prices in my community went up. So people who were buying after me were buying an inventory home, which I love inventory homes because they're priced. The price is the price. I find that that's a pretty good way to to save if the prices are going up is you order it now. But who's to say if the prices are going to go up? You know, so what could happen if there was a big crash, God forbid, is so now you've paid, let's say, $400,000 for the house, and there's a major crash, and your loan doesn't get approved because the price values have gone down in the last year because your house didn't appraise. Well, you don't get the house because you can't. Your loan is not going to get approved. It's a crazy, crazy business that we're in. But I would say that the best thing to do is to get yourself approved for a loan. And anybody who did that in 2016, 17, 18, 19, they bought they ended up, with a house that has a better resale value. Because they ordered it, ahead and, but every situation in real estate is different from every other situation. Anyway, so that's my long and short answer for when's the best time to buy. Honestly, anybody who tells you that is I don't know how they answer that question. The best time to buy is when you're ready to buy. So anyway, anyone that's got any other questions for me or something like that or something? See if I missed anybody. I'll try to get back to anybody. Please go and email me if you have any questions. Go to my disneyatyourdoorstep.com. It's running at the bottom of the screen. You can answer any questions. I could start searches for you. My policy is this. I will answer any question online, on the phone, email. I'll research for you. I will do anything. Online, no obligation. But if I have to get into my car and spend my day with you, you really got to be ready or serious about buying and be prepared. Get your loan approved. Let's look at, we'll know what we're going to be looking at. And you have to be able to, I really appreciate this, sign with me. So I send you a form that says, this is what we're going to go looking for, and that the price, my commission, is going to be paid by the seller, not by you. Okay. So, directly, but, you just sign with me that that's what you're going to do. We're going to be doing. So anyway, so I had to change my policies because seriously, I think I was, just, spending a lot of time with people out in the field who really were just looking. And I'm sorry, if you're just looking, just go look. That's why they have open houses. Honestly, that's why they have open houses. If you need me, we have to follow some kind of parameters. So anyway, so thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. I'm going to try to do this a little bit more often, and I am hoping, praying that everybody is safe. And that means that we are taking our precautions, and that Disney opens up more soon so that the fireworks that are in the backyard of my house, which is why I bought this stinker for, will be going off soon. And I will be doing this after the fireworks. That's what I had planned. And that's what I had, really, bought this house for, is that I would have fireworks in my backyard. God bless. I hope this is going to be soon. And oh my gosh, I cannot wait until those fireworks start again. I literally bought this house for the fireworks in my backyard so that I could, because I was going out and seeing fireworks with my handheld, and doing that. And I loved it. I loved it, but it was killing me. Also, the police were stopping me a lot. What are you doing here? Anyway, anyway, I'm hoping that's going to start soon, and we'll be seeing fireworks in my backyard, and I'll be live streaming it and doing all that stuff. I feel like it's going to be soon. I feel like once everybody who has wanted the vaccine can get the vaccine, and then hospitals can start handling people more readily and getting them service, that they can get more individual care, and we have a bigger control over this. Because I go there and I got mask on and the gloves, and oh my God, but I will tell you one good thing that I read in the news was that there's not a lot of reports of people getting sick after going to Disney. So that's great, because they take a lot of precautions there. So be safe, take care, and things will start getting back to normal real soon. Yes, DVC family. Yes, I have mugs. I bought 278 mugs that say Victor's Vista and show the picture of the fireworks that from my house, because I was going to have my customers over for events, and and we watch the fireworks, and we'd have Mickey ice cream bars and break my diet, and and all that stuff. So I'm glad you know about that. Patty! Hi, Patty. You're just getting here when we're closing up. So anyway, so there's a lot of those, there's people. I'm going to say this in closing. I am actually very positive about the future. And the reason is because people are still buying homes, and that shows consumer confidence. And that is one thing I'll tell you about human nature, is while we see all these negative things, we also see that people are, and nobody's mentioned how cute my background is. This is my office room. But that's what wonderful thing to see, that people have confidence that we're going to get through this, is that they're buying homes, and that has been so active. And a lot of that has to do with the really affordable interest rates right now. So thank you. I will close off with the spiffy closing. And thank you so much. And please visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com. Speak to a lender, and look at houses all you want on my real estate page, celebratingflorida.com. Thank you for watching. It's a great. Lots of, your room matches your shirt. Yes, it does. Thank you for noticing. Anyway, my friend did this, the painting in the background, and he's not an artist. We had the stencils, and he did it, and it's one of my favorite things in the world, is the way this room is decorated. And this furniture that you're seeing behind me is all the furniture that I grew up with in my room at home. And my niece had moved in with my mother, so they were thinking about what to do with this, and it just happened that I was decorating the room. So it was great. It was great. Thank you all so much. And I'll be signing off. I did 2 hours, and I was going to do a half hour. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Making the dream of a Disney lifestyle a reality. I'm Victor Naraki. Contact me on Facebook at Naraki Realtor, or my website, celebratingflorida.com. Thanks for watching Disney at Your Doorstep.